はい、皆さん、こんばんは。水無月チャンネル、ほおずきです。今回も、コールオブクトゥルフ続きをプレイしていきたいと思います。前回、なんか地下牢みたいなとこか。クリアして、あ、こんばんは。朝だからこんにちは。
Did I sleep long?
The day is only starting. It's
で、
fine.
抜け出した先で、なんかガス吸って、起きた。って感じです
How's our
ね。
fugitive? Dr. Fuller hasn't reported your disappearance to the force, but that'll come soon.
Bradley?
Who else would it be?
Mr. Pierce, are you all right? You look like you saw a ghost.
There are things
そう
I
ね。
can't explain.
Tell us. What happened?
話しかけよう、とりあえず。あなたは
I found a Darkwater PD badge. Lost a colleague recently?
What the?
Bradley.
Ethan?
I'm all right. I just had a... It's gone.
You're sure?
If it's important, it'll come back.
なんか心当
But
た
I
りがある
can't
そうです
explain why
ね。
Dr. Fuller would have that badge.
The man's a danger, believe me.
What can we do, Pierce?
確かに。
What I'm sure of now is that the Hawkins case isn't just an accident.
And what brings you to that conclusion?
The fact that Charles Hawkins survived the fire.
I don't understand. Mr. Hawkins was buried.
That's what he would have you believe.
I have a hard time believing you.
You were there, Bradley. You even opened fire on him.
I'd remember that.
Why would he fake his own death? Do you think he covered up his wife's murder?
That's possible.
Seems hard to swallow. Don't you have anything more concrete, Pierce?
違うな。さっきこっちか。
Bradley, what do you remember?
I don't understand your question.
The night we went into the Hawkins mansion. You don't seem to remember the tunnels and what occurred there.
No memory of going down any tunnel. No, we were in the manor, then,
Then what?
The rest is quite blurry. I don't recall how I came back home.
And then?
I went to visit you at the hospital. Called on Marie's help to get you released.
And you don't remember the events of the tunnel?
I don't. Let's talk about something else.
記憶を失ってますね。
You two know each other pretty well.
It's a tiny island. Everyone knows everyone. Especially since I'm a police officer and Marie's a doctor.
The chemistry is obvious.
I do seem a little stupid, don't I? Anyway, let's get back to the business at hand.
ここやりたかったな。次。ゴールデンに話しかけよ
Given the energy he pours into Riverside, I presume it was Fuller's creation.
His father's, to be correct. He was a surgeon on board the Scylla.
う。スキュラの
He
専門。
founded the hospital in 1904 with funds from the Hawkins family before he died and his son Thomas Fuller took over.
Two families inextricably linked.
Most island families are that way. Captain Fitzroy's father was also a seaman aboard the Scylla.
Powerful families dominating everything.
Yes, and as you could tell, Dr. Fuller is like some crazed emperor.
He wouldn't be happy if he knew we were snooping around.
I know the risks. I don't fear him. Do you wish to know anything else?
遺体を見た。こっちだな、先。
I found a file bearing Sarah Hawkins' name in the Institute's basement.
It makes sense. A powerful family like the Hawkins had the means to hide such a disgrace.
But everyone knows the Fullers have been taking care of the Hawkins for at least a generation. And all were aware of Mrs. Hawkins' fragility.
Perhaps, but no one would allow a psychiatric internment.
From what I read in the file, Fuller used her as a subject of his experiments.
Francis Sanders and Sarah Hawkins, subjects of Dr. Fuller. Why those two?
Dr. Fuller seems to be leaving a trail of corpses. Not to mention those strange machines, chains, and tools of all kind.
Yes. I've been telling you that Fuller uses his patients as guinea pigs.
What I saw was more akin to torture than
確か
medicine.
に。
Do you even hear what you're saying? Dr. Fuller is highly respected.
It's the truth, Ethan. And I'll prove it to you. I'm listening, Mr. Pierce.
で、こっちか
I
な
have flashbacks. They haunt me.
What did they do to you?
There was that Dr. Fuller and a nurse. Blood everywhere. My legs, the pain. I couldn't bear it. I was screaming. They injected me with something. I woke up at the institute. Bradley was there.
And how you scared us. You seemed demented.
You likely woke up during the anesthesia. No wonder those memories haunt you. What in God's name were they doing to you?
What happened afterwards?
When I woke up the second time, I was in a padded cell. That's where you found me, Doctor. After you released me, I got a good look at what's in store for the patients of the Riverside Institute. Hallucinogenic gas pumped into the cells. An infernal machine. Horrific medical experiments.
Impossible. Dr. Fuller would never do such a thing.
You should believe it, Ethan. What Mr. Pierce saw is precisely what I've been trying to prove.
マリーはいい
Did
人
you
そうなん
discover
だな。
anything else?
すごい顔しおるやん、ブラッドリーが。嘘だろみたいな顔しおる。
I met a Francis Sanders. Do you know him?
Of course, he's a patient. Or was. I haven't seen him since Dr. Fuller had him transferred to the basement.
He knew Sarah Hawkins. And that's what killed him.
What? How did he die?
I'm not sure I can explain it.
Tell me how Mr. Sanders died.
こっちだな。
I didn't see what, but something was there with us.
Of what do you speak?
Sanders said it was Sarah Hawkins' visitor. He spoke of it like a living being.
Sarah Hawkins? Have I missed something here? This makes no sense. I don't see how it can help crack the Hawkins case.
You really think she's involved? How could she have murdered Mr. Sanders?
Francis Sanders mentioned Mrs. Hawkins just before dying. It's no coincidence.
You know, Francis Sanders was a well-known art collector. I guess you can still pay a visit to his wife, Irene Sanders.
An art collector, you say? That's probably how they met.
If you plan on having dinner at the Sanders household, please spare the widow the tale of her late husband's suffering.
I don't agree. She deserves the truth.
But that truth may be biased. We don't know the bottom of it.
言った方がいいのかな。迷うね。言うか。
He's right. We can't ignore the truth.
But it could drive her mad.
Better madness than ignorance. Very well.
命運を左右
I'll
し
go
ま
to
す
see
だって。
Francis's widow. Perhaps I'll find a link between her husband's death and Sarah Hawkins.
Don't end up in the hospital this time.
I'll do my best.
ゲームがセーブされました。サンダースの妻に話を聞くっていうことで、とりあえず出りゃいいのかな。間違えました。あ、もう出れるんだ。じゃあ出ます。ほい。
What can I do for you, sir?
Mrs. Sanders, I'm a private detective. We must talk about your husband and his ties to Sarah Hawkins. Can I come in?
You may.
金持ちそうな顔しおるな。
However, before we go any further, please know that my husband died yesterday.
That is precisely
あれ
what brings me here.
キャットじゃん。
well, look who's here.
目がやばい、目が。
You know each other.
Our paths crossed, briefly. The brave detective has a talent for sticking his nose into my business.
I bump into her every time I'm investigating someone's death.
It's a small island, detective. My island. It's better that it's you bumping into me.
You're investigating Francis' death. Why? Who hired you?
I spoke to Francis before he died. His story suggests a link to a case I'm working on.
Well, since this business has got nothing to do with me, I'll be in your husband's office, Irene. We'll carry on later.
Very well, Miss Baker.
キャット嫌いじゃないんだよ
This way, Mr.
な。
And do make yourself comfortable. It would seem that you have much to tell me.
キャットいい人な気がするんだよな、意外と。
May I inquire as to when you had the opportunity to talk to my husband?
Yesterday, I met him at the hospital. He
正
spoke to me
面
about
から見る
Sarah
となんか
Hawkins.
すごい顔しよる。
Of course he spoke to you about her. That's all he talked about. Sarah Hawkins and her paintings. Please forgive my tone. The fact is that I have not been allowed to see him since he was interned. You, on the other hand, a perfect stranger, were able to see him and even talk with him the day he died. How was he? Were you present when he had this attack? What happened?
心理学でというか心理学で
What happened to your husband is terrible, Mrs. Sanders. But from what I saw, it was
プル
inevitable.
プルしょる。
The man I met yesterday
大
had
丈夫か、なん
lost
かかっ
his
とるん
reason.
か、その
He suffers
スカ
no
ートの中
longer,
で。
if you would allow me such a platitude.
Of course. Thank you for your kind words. Nobody in that hospital would have deigned to speak them to me. However, it will require more than that to soothe my
どうしたどうした
mind. I need to understand. How could this happen? In a
確か
reputed
にそれは
institute.
そうだ。
And right before your eyes. Did you not do anything to help him?
いいよ。
So ask Fuller, he's the eminent doctor. But I would caution you, you'll find his treatments more terrifying than the illnesses he sets out to cure.
That churl no longer takes the trouble to
めちゃ
receive
くちゃ
me.
命運左右
He
する
sends his secretary to tell me that I cannot see Francis. Me. His own widow. He must think that I am a terrible wife for having abandoned him in such a way. But I only wanted what was best for him.
I'm not here to condemn you, Mrs. Sanders.
Oh, I'm tired, Mr. Pierce. I would be grateful if you could tell me what you expect of me, and then leave.
Did your husband talk to you about Sarah Hawkins' visitor? A shambler, to use his precise terms.
空気でいいのかな
Well, you can't imagine that's all he talked about. It's exhibited at the center of the gallery. No better place for the painting that endowed him with the privilege of such a shameful and miserable end to his life.
Hold on. The Shambler is a painting by Sarah Hawkins.
Who else to paint such horrors? Take a look for yourself, if you feel so inclined.
It is my only lead at this stage. I suppose I have nothing to lose.
Then you have paid no heed. For my part, I refuse to set foot in that gallery again. But if you are so eager to see it, I would urge you to make the most of your visit. Because I count on ridding myself of that thing as soon as I can.
Thank you, Mrs. Sanders. I won't be long.
手帳を見る。
The day the
Jingle
Shambler
teacher
came
lang.
into the Sanders' lives,
れか空気。お、ちょっとまだ見た。ちょっと待って。カメラ感度なんかやべえな。これで OK でしょ。あ、ちょうどいい。これみたいな。
Did she really care for him after all?
ご遺体をお返しすることはできかねます。まあ、ご遺体はなかったわけだからね。お、医学じゃない？医学。なんだこれ。ピアノや。弾ける。再現しろって、もう。わかったよ。はい。
Francis Sanders and Sarah Hawkins were close. Friends, even?
仲良し。
Sanders' accession register.
やっとだ。
He wrote beside the Shambler. Finally. What did Sarah Hawkins fear so much that she didn't want to sell the painting? He finally won. Was Sanders aware of his imminent doom?
これが空気か。なんか怒ってる？うわ、オカルトじゃん。え？やばい。どうした？
The Shambler. I need to see it.
なんかいたよね、今ね。待って、そういう系？空気観察しろって言ってるやん。今やばくない？見た今みんな。
Let's see what this cylinder has to say once it's inserted in the photograph.
血が出とった。わかんない。こっちが？わかんない。空気どこやねん。こっちか。わかんない。めっちゃ鍵閉めるやん。
A strange Amerindian pendant.
インディアン。なんかトロフィーつきました。あれキャットじゃん。
Strange.
For
months, Sarah Hawkins refused to part with her painting, to finally give it away for nothing.
なるほどね。サラ・ホーキンスはインク？
I could use one of those.
サラ・ホーキンスはこういうことになることを分かってたわけだ。医学まだ成長しないの？あ、6ポイント持ってるな。調査6、筋力6。目星か。いや、調査ですね。あ、ちょっ ちょっと待って。これだ。キャッツ。あ、いや、こっちが。筋力。あ、いた。何の鍵
An old diary.
妻が上陸して以来、死の回収が見ている君の夢について。なんかすげえ色々あるな。あえ何その選択肢。何その選択肢。読むべきですか読むか、じゃあ。あ、間違った。20秒、はい。お化け。現実を超えて。オカルトか、やっぱ。あ、すごい。タコ。キャッツ。
That's twice you've stepped on my toes, Detective. Try not to make a habit of it.
I've got a lot of bad habits.
Some can be more fatal than others. What have you come looking for in this gallery?
Another painting by Sarah Hawkins. One connected to the horrors I've discovered on this island.
What a surprise. I'm listening.
まあいいか。
All's fair in love and war, I suppose.
どこ行くのどうした
Not now, sweetheart. I'd like to read this without some snoop looking over my shoulder.
急にじゃん。いや、すごい。なんかコレクションルーム。刀。なんでこれだけ調べられるんだ。なんか使うんか。あ、これもだ。
These artifacts date from pre-Columbian times. 強そうなのがあります。あれが空気やろ、絶対。まあいいか。ちょっと一旦ここで切ろう。キャットの横で。ということで、多分、バトルになると思うんだけど、これバトルしちゃうと、時間が増えてしまうので、一旦ここで切りたいと思います。はい。ということで、また次回の動画をお楽しみくださいませ。それでは、失礼いたします。